chaps and chapettes, I thought I'd basically hop back into the FIFA game, you know, just to dish out some else quite happily too. So if you did actually watch the stream last night, obviously you would have seen a couple of those L's being dished out already. We won the daily knockout tournament with this team. And we're actually going to be playing FUT Champions this weekend for the first time in a long time. And not just actually playing it, but doing it on stream as well, which is going to be sick. So make sure you tune in for that, chaps. Anyway, we're kind of switching between, in terms of the centre-backs, we're switching between this lad Howardez or whatever with an artist chem style and Miranda, basically just for controlling the game, because this formation is very much based around controlling the game, you know, keeping your head space and just dominating through the possession plays. So it's kind of based, I guess it is basically Guardiola's tactic under Man City. I'll do some explaining first, chaps, before we get into this, because at the end of the day, if you want to reach the top of the game time thing, then you've got to know the philosophy behind it. So speed is quite low just because we're not exactly going to be rushing our play. We want to be playing quite patient. Passing is quite low on this as well, because it is almost like the sort of Xavi and Iniesta play that you'd see at Barcelona back in the day. It's very short tiki-taka passing, little triangle plays. You already know it, chaps. So headed into the chance creation. Oh, yeah, first of all, positioning is organised there, just because there are certain positions that need to stay in the same position, and you need to know where they are type thing. For example, the wingers do occupy the left back and right back, so you don't want them drifting inwards or anything like that. You just want them staying exactly there. So passing is 62. Reason being is because the perfect system probably is something like this, but if the wingers, well, if the left mid and right mid were wingers, there doesn't seem to be on FIFA a way of getting forward your centre mids incredibly well, because the way that this formation works is not very typical at all. It's basically the wingers are purely just there to kind of occupy the left back and right back, and then the centre mids are actually going to be some of the main attacking threat, basically creating a five up front almost, because you've got Icardi who's going to be sitting in the middle, and then they're going to be getting into the half spaces basically between the wingers and the striker, of course. So that's the reason that we've got the passing really high, because it makes them come forward more often. It makes them more willing to take risks. I don't know, that just seems to be the only way to get the centre mids forward, like, unless they introduce some better custom tactics. I think, wait, player instructions real quick. What are they on? They're on balance. Well, hang on a tick. You're joking. I haven't even set up player instructions and I'm still dishing out L's. Quite incredible. So, I actually need to change that in a sec, so I might as well do that live on camera, you know. So, crossing. It's relatively sort of, I'd say quite balanced, to be honest, because it's not really a team that's mainly based around crossing, but at the same time, when we've got so many players, especially, you know, 5 up front type thing, if you can get a ball into the box, they might be able to find a space. It's not going to be like whipping it in and hope for the best. It's more like driven pass across type thing. That's what I mean by crossing. And then shooting, 75, just because it is a very attacking formation. And obviously with these centre mids coming forward as well, it's going to be very, you know, creating a lot of chances, and you need to be taking them too. So freeform, so that's in the attacking phase, because you do want these centre mids to make sort of elusive runs and not be too predictable, I guess. And, you know, it is very much a case of up until the final third, they're going to be staying in the same sort of position. But once you get into that final third, then they are going to be making it a bit more sort of unpredictable with a nice little triangle plays and all the rest of it. So pressure is 60. You want to be sort of dominating and controlling the game, so it's relatively high aggression as well. Kind of balanced to an extent. Team width really wide, because the left back and right backs are occasionally going to be coming up to basically just stretch, and like you're trying to pull their players, like defenders, towards you, and that's kind of what the right back and left backs, they're literally just trolling. Lukaku knows what he's doing, the chap. He just comes forward and then he basically baits the defense out towards him, and then you can bring the centre mids forward and all the rest of it. So next up we have the player instructions. I just need to change these. So in terms of this, I'm probably going to say right back and left back, I'll probably leave them balanced. It just depends on how the game is going, and then we might change that depending on that. We want cut passing lanes and stay back while attacking, as well as conservative interceptions, because the middle CDM is basically going to be almost a third centre-back at times, getting all the way back. We want get forward on both of the centre mids. I could maybe do some other stuff like this, like get into the box for cross. I I think I might as well, to be honest. And then positioning freedom is just going to be stick to position. And the left wing is basically going to be stay wide, and then stay forward as well. And one of them, we'll just try that out. And then false, I think we'll do false 9. And that's the thing, is that is very much going to be when you want to control the midfield. The false 9 will drop back, and then you're going to be able to control the midfield basically with an extra man. So he's going to be sort of baiting out the centre-backs, creating a space for these two centre-mids. So going into the bench as well, we've got Lozano, Balotelli, Griezmann, Ousmane Dembele, Matic, Sterling, Son, and then we switch between Miranda and Howard. I actually quite like him with the artist chem style, I won't lie, but he's certainly not exactly doing too well in the pace department. That's nice. That's nice. Hamzik, that's a bang. Easy. What's he doing? Luke Anderson any day. He's got to be old enough Lanzini. That's a joke. The fact he's even competing with him. That is nothing short of a joke. What a ball. Yes, there it is. He's taking his time with that, man. How the hell has it taken this long to get a goal? All right, chaps and chappets, we actually got that copyright claim. At least 8 of them. I think it was blocked worldwide, which is why we don't have a live commentary here. But what that does mean is obviously I can break down what's happening on your screen. So I just wanted to break down how this system works, because it's all well and good having the player instructions. I think like a lot of people, when they're looking at videos, can be a bit too obsessed with the player instructions and custom tactics, and not the actual like tendencies in terms of what's going on in the game. So starting off, we've got the CDM. The CDM is basically the most important part in terms of starting your attack. He's going to be the man that is basically the bridge from defense to attack. He's going to be sitting nice and cozy in the middle, and if you do bring forward the left back and right backs, what you want to be doing is getting those left back and right backs forward, and then you'll notice that the CDM a lot of the time is going to be your free man, so you just pass it to him. And then from there, you can pass it pretty much anywhere you want. You've got the wings to give it to. You've got the centre mids. Maybe even give it up to the striker, which is why I've got him as a false 9, so he's always available. And that's a quick way of getting straight through the attack. Because of a false 9, what a goal by Douglas Costa there, my guy. But because you've got a false 9, he's going to be peeling away from the centre-backs, which is basically going to enable you to penetrate straight through all the way up into their defensive wall instantly with just one pass from the CDM to the striker. And then you can maybe give it out to the wings or the centre mids overlapping in the half spaces. So that is arguably one of the most important things in this formation. It's the half spaces. You can see a lot of the goals, that one's from Hamzik as one of the centre mids. A lot of the goals are coming from Hamzik and Pjanic. And the reason being is they're almost shadow strikers, which means often we are going to be bringing on players with very good capability of just running through the teams. We also beat a pay-to-win team right there, I think 5-1. But you basically just want to be making sure that there's going to be space for them by giving it out wide to the wingers. And, I mean, sometimes, to be fair, the wingers are going to be completely unmarked. So, let's say when you're attacking, like, in their final third, the right winger has the ball. Often you'll find that the defense will all sort of shove down towards you. And then the opposite winger, if you have him on stay wide and stay forward or whatever, he's just going to be sitting there completely unmarked. Which is often the case, to be honest. In some of these cases, you'll just see him sitting nice and cozy and waiting for the ball. But a lot of it is about getting the two centre mids forward as we get the 2-1. My goodness me. If you do want to see maybe a more in-depth analysis, then to be fair, you're going to see a lot of it during this weekend on the FUT Champions stream. Thanks for watching, chaps and chappets. If you do want to catch up on and remember to tune in this weekend, chaps. We're going to be abusing FUT Champions. My goodness me, for the first time in a long time, live on stream.